So it appears that Diddy is actually going to try to fight some of these most recent SA allegations that have been levied against him. And I don't think it's going to work, but let me tell you guys why he's doing this. And we'll get into the clips and we'll actually go over the article that was in The Guardian this morning that really outlines what's happening here in this case. But let me be very clear. Some of you might wonder, why doesn't he just settle this case? Think about what's happened to Diddy financially. Music is not paying anymore because of the damage to his reputation that by proxy affects his children's income and the family name in general. On top of that, he's lost his deal with Diageo. He's no longer affiliated with Ciroc. I ask you guys, besides probably investments and things like that that are already paying dividends to him, so on and so forth, I'm going to ask you guys, how's he making money these days? So if he's not able to really make money, this is a long, sometimes I think they took a shot at him to kind of take him down, and the takedown is actually going to take time. By removing his ability to make money and to establish endorsement deals, to use his name is what he's built his brand around this entire time. Essentially, the only thing he has left to do is fight these allegations. Why? Because another settlement would be pretty detrimental to his financial status. He'd be better off at this point to pay lawyers to see if they can quell or stop some multi-million-dollar settlement that he'll have to pay. Let's say he'll pay his lawyers $3 or $4 million. He might have to pay this victim $10, $15, $20 million. We don't know what he paid Cassie. There are some rumors out there that that's a 9-figure settlement, and if it is, then can he afford to do something like that or anything in that ballpark again? Probably not. So what they're doing is they're asking for the court to dismiss the case. Why? Because the defense is saying, well, it's been too long. We don't know. He can't actually defend himself because it's been so long. But what they're missing is that this law that she's able to file the charges under is specifically designed to allow people to have these legacy or old charges brought up again. So I'm like, okay, and if you listen to what he's saying, I'll play the article for you shortly. Like I said, if you listen to what he's saying, I was not aware that I did anything wrong. Not that he didn't traffic this girl, not that he didn't have relationships, not that he didn't have relations with her, not that he didn't pass her along to other people, including his bad boy president, Harve Pierre. None of that. He's just saying, I was unaware. We'll see how that defense goes. But in the court of public opinion, it's already a wrap. But let's listen to the article so we have more context.
Sean Combs, the rapper and mogul known as Diddy, has filed a defense against allegations that he and 2 others assaulted a 17-year-old girl at a recording studio in 2003. New paperwork filed on Tuesday, reported by Rolling Stone, wholly denied the allegations from the unnamed plaintiff who is suing Combs and called for the lawsuit to be dismissed. The documents state that Combs never participated in, witnessed, or was or is presently aware of any misconduct, sexual or otherwise, relating to plaintiff in any circumstance whatsoever. Combs has previously denied a range of sex-related assault allegations against him, saying on X, "I did not do any of the awful things being alleged. I will fight for my name, my family, and for the truth." Co-defendant Harve Pierre, president of Combs' label Bad Boy Records, filed his own response to the lawsuit, claiming he never participated in the assault of the plaintiff, nor did he ever witness anyone else assaulting the plaintiff. The woman alleges that Pierre forced her to perform oral sex before he and Combs plied her with drugs and alcohol to the point where she could not give consent. She alleges that after reaching the New York studio, Combs essayed her in a bathroom, followed by a third unidentified man. The new documents from Combs also contest a photo that allegedly shows the unnamed plaintiff sitting on Combs's lap, disputing context, genuineness, and/or accuracy of the photographs, and complain about the 2-decade gap between the alleged incident and the allegations. Some or all evidence that otherwise would have been available if the action had been promptly commenced may be unavailable, lost, or compromised. The case against Combs is being brought under the Victims of Gender-Motivated Violence Protection Law, which allows cases of this nature to be filed outside the usual statute of limitations. The new documents argue that using this New York state legislation violates Combs' constitutional rights. This was the 4th set of allegations filed against Combs in late 2023. One case from ex-girlfriend and singer Cassandra Ventura, aka Cassie, was settled the day after it was filed. 2 others were filed under the Adult Survivors Act, another piece of legislation that allowed cases to be filed outside the statute of limitations. One woman, Joey Dickerson Neal, claimed that Combs drugged and essayed her in 1991 and shared a film of the assault in a revenge porn attack. Another unnamed woman alleged that Combs and singer Aaron Hall assaulted her and a friend in Hall's apartment in 1990 or 1991. No settlement or judgment has yet been made in those cases. Combs put out a statement following the 4th allegation saying, "I have sat silently and watched people try to assassinate my character, destroy my reputation and my legacy. Sickening allegations have been made against me by individuals looking for a quick payday."
If I have to think about a strategy that I think Diddy may be using here, if he can come out some way, somehow, is victorious in this defense, defending himself in this lawsuit, then maybe he can just say the things that happened between he and Cassie, while he doesn't agree with everything, there was some turmoil in the relationship and he wanted to account for that. The problem is there's too many other people are speaking. You still have the Tupac case with Keefe D coming up. There's some speculation that Puffy may be, or Diddy may be involved with that. Then there's also speculation about what has happened with Heavy D, Kim Porter, and other members of Bad Boy or affiliates of Bad Boy. So there's just so much out there. You've got Gene Deal with his own YouTube show and going on interviews on the Art of Dialogue on Vlad TV. So there's so much happening around Diddy's name because he is such a big brand. There's an ecosystem, including the one that I'm using right now called YouTube, through which discussing him generates views and starts a conversation for sure. So I don't know what he's going to do to get out of this situation. I don't think he really can get out of this situation. I think time may be friendly, in time. I'm sure he's working with a crisis management team right now that's coming up with some plan that it probably takes some years to restore his reputation in the public, if that's even possible. Meanwhile, in the blogosphere, there's a lot of talk about Diddy having an issue with Jay-Z sort of distancing himself since all of these allegations have come down. And that Diddy's retaliation is that he's going to release information on Beyonce, Jay-Z. There's also a lot of talk of Beyonce and Jay-Z getting a divorce because Beyonce doesn't want to be anywhere near the storm should it come her way. She wants to kind of claim the unassuming wife. Oh, I've been so busy working and putting out my art, I had no idea all of this stuff was going on. That's going to be a hard sell because Jay-Z has like 2 kids out there that have been trying to get him to claim them for some time. I'm sure Beyonce and her team will be aware of something like that because it could affect her image. Those attempts to get Jay-Z's attention and accountability have fallen on deaf ears. He's actually used his influence and his power, allegedly, his lawyers, to keep his alleged son, Ramir, from even getting the DNA test done to validate, parenthood or not. There's quite a bit of physical evidence that would lead to the fact that Jay-Z is his father, but that, again, it's being suppressed, it's being kept out of court. So there's a lot of talk about what's going to happen with Jay-Z. I think Jay-Z is where we need to kind of look next. I don't know what's going on in hip-hop. It seems like a little bit of a takedown of an hierarchy, and I find it interesting that Diddy's ensnared, Russell Simmons is ensnared, allegedly Jay-Z potentially could be ensnared in all of this. And it's happening right as hip-hop is at a real severe decline in popularity. So much to the point where even Beyonce is jumping over the country. Interesting. I wonder if we're not watching like the end of hip-hop as a genre era, if that makes any sense. It just seems like something is a little final about what's happening with these moguls, and I'm not exactly sure why. But it is interesting. Maybe all the things that you do in the dark come to the light. Maybe that's it. But it just seems like something more is happening beneath the layers of all of this. And I've lived in Hollywood a long time, and I know how these people operate. So there's always something happening in the undercurrent, and we just have to wait to see how it all turns out. Thank you for listening. I'll be back with another video. Be here now. This is the Refectree channel. I will talk to y'all later. And if you made it this far, do me a favor, like and subscribe.
Family, you've been there with me through my ups and downs. Yes, sir. Whenever I get in trouble, this is the one I call. It's my strategist right here. This is my brother.